Before we start this podcast, I want to definitely remind you of a sponsor for Fresh of the Word, 20 by 20 Apparel. Founded in 2015, 20 by 20 Apparel brings original tributes to pro wrestling's classic arenas, moments, and events. They look to spotlight the bloopers, bleeps, and body slams along with the biggest, smallest, strangest, and strongest. In the world of wrestling where there's hundreds of shirts, promotions, flyers, social media accounts, and ads, don't get lost in the sea of parody shirts and display fonts. They can provide professional graphic design services at a reasonable price. 20 by 20 also hand screen prints all the tees in-house. So if you'd like to discuss a possible run of tees, posters, koozies, foam fingers, or even Zubaz, then drop them a line at 20by20apparel.com. That's the number 20x, the number 20apparel.com. And also check out their enamel pin line. It's super cool.
Fresh is the word.
I'm Jim Duggan, got long wood for plenty hoes. I keep it fresher than fresh, but you already know. You suckers bummy, I'm money, I got a ton of flows. My weed loud like a motherfucking thunder roll. Your shit quiet like you ballin' on a budget though. We see your kicks and we laugh and yellin' what it goes. You see me shining like a suit on puffy. You know my grindin' shit is too strong, buddy. That's why the dude call money. I be stuntin' like it's nothing at all. Cause it's nothing to me, it's probably something to y'all. Trying to smoke like me, then come and fuck with your dog. Got a closet full of kicks, you can't cop it tomorrow. And I'm fresher than the freshest, you can tell it's in my essence. Bitch, you see the way I'm rapping, yes I do this shit to death. I tell I'm running out of breath, I tell somebody cut a check. But either way you know it's fresh, and either way you know it's fresh. Fresh, we fresh. Fresh, 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 goddammit, we fresh. Fresh, fresh, goddammit, we so damn fresh.
All right, welcome to the Fresh of the Word podcast. I'm your host, Kelly K. Fresh Frazier, and we have a special guest for this episode. A member of one of my favorite rap groups of all time. We got Monoxide from the serial killer slaughtering duo Twiztid. How's it going?
It is. I said he, the Monoxide, or you can just call me Paul. Either one applies. I'll answer to each. But everything's good. How are you?
I'm great. The day we're recording this, it's my birthday. So
Nice.
super cool to talk with you on my birthday. And then also, I didn't even really plan this, but it's so super perfect, is that this will be the 200th episode of Fresh of the Word. So it's perfect.
That's awesome, man. Happy birthday. And I'm glad we could be a gift of some sort.
Yes. So right now we're in Astronomicon season. Astronomicon's coming up. You know, are you as psyched as I am?
Man, I'm excited. I'm nervous. I'm anxious. I'm happy. I'm a ball of emotions right now. And it could only be because the Astro is less than what seems like 2 weeks away.
Dude, crazy. Yes. Astronomicon has definitely become one of my favorite times of the year. The first two were awesome. Can't wait for the third one. Like, what do we have to expect this year?
Right off the bat, you'll probably notice it'll be even smoother than the year before. We kind of pride ourselves in that and just really concentrating on what didn't work or what we could do better. So you'll see stuff like that, like with the staff and the volunteers and just the workings of the con. And then as far as guests, we went above and beyond this year. We're really forcing the issue of packing this plate to a point that'll bring a fire marshal in with some questions. But it's nonstop. The events continue well into the night. There's more stuff for the kids. There's more cosplay this year. There's more game shows this year. There's more interaction with me and Jamie this year. So just finding ways to perfect it.
Right.
And I think you'll see a lot of it this year.
Yeah. What's something that's been working for Astronomicon for the first 2 years that you guys are just going to continue to lean on in this third year?
the passion, the drive, and the dedication of George Michael Dustin, that right there, those three are the biggest key to this cog.
Yeah.
And as happy as I can be, man, that just blows my mind, because they don't necessarily have to be into the same things that me and Jamie are into, but not only are they're just above and beyond kind of guys. And that right there, man, that's all we need. We got a great team, sees the same way that we do, and we're all looking for stuff we can leave our kids. Like, they'll be doing intros and interviews for Astronomicon 51, you know what I mean? And it's on some other planet that some kid just found. You know, longevity is what we're really striving for. We're not in this as a hit it and quit it kind of moment. It's not a fad with us. This is something that we're going to do this until we can.
For this year's Astronomicon, there's some returning guests, but then you got some new Astronomicon guests this year. You know, who are you excited to have at Astronomicon this year?
Man, I mean, without a doubt, I got to say Bill Moseley. Let me just talk about him for a second.
Right.
He's a regular.
Yeah.
There's nothing we can do. Bill Moseley is going to be there. It doesn't matter what we say. That is as much Bill's con as it is ours, man. And I got to watch the relationship with him build from the ground up into where it is today. And I just want to say I can't thank him enough for giving us that chance. And I think he's a big part of why a lot of other people gave us a chance. Like, hey, man, and Bill's giving him a shot. Why don't we? You know what I mean? And we see it. And we got the Terrifier. You know what I mean? We got Art Rooney. We got Alexa Bliss. But I'm going to tell you who I'm most excited about. First, I'll tell you my sleeper of the con.
Okay.
I think the sleeper of the con, the one that's going to come and he's going to blow everybody away, I think is going to be Lloyd Kaufman.
Okay.
I think he's the sleeper right there. People are going to be like, I think that's the one a lot of people are going to be talking about. The second one, I can't, and this is a shout out to Ming Chen and Brian O'Halloran, because I believe it is without a doubt because of these two that we're going to be able to make this next one happen. And I mean, again, we're just like, whoa, dude, that's happening for us. And that's the first time ever you'll get to see and meet both of the guys from Clerks.
Yeah.
Dante and Randall. And Randall's never done one in his life. And he picked this one to start it off with. And I'm like, man, we have really got to be doing something right.
Right.
To get Jeff Anderson off of the couch and into our hearts in a way that is very personal, very plausible. I mean, we're blown away, bro. Shouts out Jeff Anderson. Shouts out Brian O'Halloran. Shouts out Ming Chen.
Right.
Ming's a huge part of this. Ming could easily be the statue of Astronomicon. Like when we finally construct a statue and you're looking at this 40-foot thing, it's Ming Chen with a cape. Like, he goes all out. He's another one that just champions for us.
Yeah.
And we never asked him to do that. It wasn't like, hey, man, you think it's just, that's what he feels. And I appreciate that immensely.
Yeah, definitely. I actually talked with both Ming Chen and Bill Moseley for this podcast also. And yeah, those guys are just so in it. Like, Bill Moseley actually had to cut our, he had to actually quit talking because he was like, yo, I got to go actually do another interview, because he was talking so much about Astronomicon and stuff that he's been a part of. He's just into this world so much.
Absolutely. Immersed, if you will. Even if you won't, I'd still say that's what they'd say. But yeah, both of those guys could have their pick of the con. we go to other cons with Ming, and it's like everybody knows him, everybody wants to talk to him, and yet here they are, they're with us. You know what I mean? They're part of our team, and we're just uber grateful for shit like that.
When you're building a con like Astronomicon, how important is it to have these guests who love to champion and kind of keep the sort of the con culture alive and include you guys in it?
I think, excuse me, I believe it's a testament to how they're treated. I believe that we treat everybody like they are the kings or the queens, be it a vendor, be it talent, be it a ticket buyer. Everybody gets treated like a king or a queen, and I think that comes off. Yeah. And I think that's very important, and that's something me and Jamie can bring to the table, because we know what it's like to be at an event and be forgotten or to just be left in the dust, and we refuse to let any of our people feel like that, anybody we bring in. I think that right there shows them that, again, this isn't a cash grab. This isn't a trendy thing. They feel our passion. They can see our hard work. And who wouldn't want to get behind something like that? Like, there's no curtain to pull. Oh, there's no paying no attention to the man behind the curtain. Like, we're very transparent with everything that we do, with everybody that we do it with. I think those things play a huge part into them going on their own time and talking about an event that we put on that they're a part of. I believe that has to do with it.
Right. And I also spoke with David Howard Thornton from Terrifier, who plays the Art the Clown character for this podcast
Art
too.
The Clown.
Yeah. And one of the things I was telling him about Astronomicon, I was just like, what's so cool about it is that it's a much more intimate convention where you can just sort of like just chop it up and talk to the other guests and everybody that's there. Because he was like, I asked him, who do you want to meet there? And he was like, I really want to meet Charles Fleischer. And I'll be like, you'll probably get to be able to talk with him.
Right, absolutely. Absolutely. It's the biggest little thing. You know what I mean? It's like when you sit back at the end of it and you look at the numbers, we're like, oh my, I can't believe that many people were here. But it's still in a state of intimacy.
Yeah.
Where it doesn't feel like you got 200 people behind you barking at you, hurry up, get your picture, get your autograph. Like, everybody's extremely cordial. Everybody's extremely tolerant. And that right there, man, just the atmosphere of our con, I would put up against anybody's. Like, it is just amazing.
When sort of choosing what sort of photo ops you want to, have available for Astronomicon, what sort of, what's sort of the process in figuring that out in regards to what you and Jamie are going to do, and then what you want to sort of propose for the guests?
It's an idea hat. We all, the other three that I said, George, Michael, and Dustin, we plan these events out together, each individual thing. So everybody's got ideas. Oh, man, let's bring this person in, that person in. We boil it all down, and then we go for it. We shoot for the moon, and then we come back with whatever, a handful of stars or whatever we can come back with. But we are in on every single event, vendor, talent. It's not something that me and Jamie just sit back and say, oh, let them guys do it.
Yeah.
We are in on it as much as they want us to be without us becoming, because we're those guys, you know what I mean? We don't believe in no when it comes to the entertainment like that. Like, we can make anything happen. So 48 hours in, if I want to turn the first floor into a pinball room, like, they get a little nervous, stuff like that. But for the most part, yeah, you could ask any one of us anything about the con, and neither one would have to say, well, you'd have to talk to him about that, or you'd have to talk to him about that. We all know what's going on. We pay attention to the finest details is another key to these things. Those that go lost in the sauce begin your demise down the hill. Like, no way. Pay attention to the little things.
One of the big scores for Astronomicon this year is Alexa Bliss. You know, not every like convention gets a WWE superstar like that, and that's definitely, you know, that's definitely a big score for you guys. Sort of talk about getting Alexa Bliss for Astronomicon.
Oh, man, we can't thank them enough for even giving us a chance. You know, it's like construction on a freeway in a city. You got 100 contractors putting in a bid for that. They picked, you know what I mean? And then the one that they like best gets picked. They picked us. They were like, yeah, WWE agreed. And to know their protocol for the protection of their brand, again, lets me know that what we're doing is even bigger than what we know, because they said yes. They said yes. And you're right. Everybody can't do that. And I think I could bet it all on you never seen that happen in the third-year con. Never. Nothing. So we appreciate the trust that they have in us to take care of one of their big stars. We appreciate that immensely, because we're going to show them when she goes back, she will have the greatest story to tell. Look, it was amazing. So we're like, yeah, buddy. What's next?
What do you
trying to get the Avengers here, man? All in costume, flying around the joint.
What do you sort of
the kids?
what do you sort of contribute to you know, WWE, like seeing that this is a good opportunity to include Alexa Bliss for? Do you feel like they see that you guys are very flexible and open to, you know, her schedule and what you want, you know, what commitments you want from her for this event?
Yeah, it all plays a part. The stars had to align in just the perfect way, and they did. And she's gonna be there, and we're blown away by that. We're almost afraid to keep talking about it. We don't want her to be like, oh, well, we changed our minds. No, she'll be there. It's gonna be massive.
Right, because like I can assume, because she's only going to be there on Sunday, and it's going to be a specific time from 12 to 4, and everything's and for her it's only online pre-sales only. So I can assume that other conventions might, you know, want more of a time frame from her, or want something more from her. But for this, I feel like it's perfect for what Astronomicon is, and to be able to be that flexible with a talent like that.
Right. We don't need to take her whole day up, her whole day and night, her whole weekend.
Yeah.
We can bring her in, and she can get her point across and spread that love in just the right amount of time where it doesn't become a burden. I don't want them to leave like, you know, is it time yet? Is it time to go? I want them to be like, oh, my God, we're leaving already? Like, an experience for them as well. Not just the people that are going to see them, but for each one of those pieces of entertainment that attend, they will have an experience that they've never had at a con like this.
Right. And you kind of mentioned this earlier about how you don't, you know, you've been in, you know, predicaments where you were forgotten at the event, or you weren't taken care of at the event. Hell, I was with you guys at a certain convention last year where you guys were pretty much forgotten for a panel. And,
yeah, right.
So
was that the one downtown?
Yes.
Oh my God! Right, I'm going to say fucking tell anybody.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
So you guys know it, and then I've also been at other conventions where they would have like big name wrestling guests, and those wrestling guests were just kind of like sitting around mostly all weekend, and they would have people come and going, but it wasn't sort of like a packed thing,
an engaging thing for them.
Yeah, so I think it's really cool that I think it's a good use of your resources and time to, we're going to offer this Alexa Bliss thing, but it's only going to be at this particular time because that's, what we can get out of her. But I think this is perfect for this event.
At the same time, we don't want entertainment coming and sucking all the money out from the vendors. We don't want the vendors coming and sucking all the money out for them. We want everyone to be happy.
Yeah.
And somehow, so far, so good, we're pulling that off. So we're very conscious of that, of stuff like that. Because, like I said, I want everybody to be happy.
And then you got some other cool photo ops. You have Bill Moseley going to be Chop Top. You have David Howard Thornton going to be Art the Clown. You're going to have the Clerks reunion dual photo op. You're going to have the Three from Hell photo op with Bill Moseley and Richard Brake. Like, you guys have these really cool photo ops going on. What are ones are you excited to see?
Oh man, Clerks, dude, right there. I'm wearing the vest. Like, I'm so hyped to see. I just want to meet them. I just want to meet and see what happens. Maybe there's a hug. Maybe there's a kiss on the cheek. I don't know. But it's like, I want to meet everybody. Everybody took time out of their day to come and give us a shot, man. So if anything else, I'd really love to just go and tell each one of them how much this means to us. That they're not just pawns on the chessboard. They are pieces of a puzzle that is coming together more and more. And I promise, when it's all said and done and we're at the fucking Mecca, you will feel it. You will know it. You will look into the sky and you will see an Astronomicon banner in complete hologramization, if that's a word. This is what we want.
Right. Another great guest that you have for Astronomicon this year is Kevin Eastman, the co-creator of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. How do you feel about this one?
We have legends. Like, again, I think, when you see that guy and he's with that hot girl, he's 5'6", she's 5'10",
yeah,
knockout, he's decent. You're like, man, is he really punching out of his weight class? That's where we are. That's how we're just like, Kevin Eastman, Jesus, we're punching out of our weight class, man. I told you, our excitement is beyond. It's beyond. It's turned into 25 other emotions, and nervous and anxious, and just, we can't wait. I might puke a little after it's all done. That anxiety, because we went pretty big this year, comparatively.
Right. Along with Alexa Bliss, another one that I'm really psyched to see is Amy Dumas, a.k.a. Lita, WWE Hall of Famer. Like, how do you feel about getting that one?
I feel that, again, like, I just can't explain what that means. It's like we try to get something for everybody there. I don't want you to come there as a family, right? It's you, your wife, your teen son, your middling daughter, and a younger son. And 3 out of the 5 of you, there's nothing there for you. We don't want that. We want everybody covered.
Yeah. Everybody.
And we feel that. You can come as a family and be entertained and have a good time. And you don't gotta break the bank. There's enough to do that. Doesn't cost you a dime. We just want people to have fun. We want to create an event that people come to and have fun and get away from whatever the hell else is going on out in this crazy world.
When it comes to the vendors and the people in the artist alley and the sponsors that you work with for Astronomicon, what are you guys looking for?
We're looking for innovative. We're looking for staples, things that we know the kids love. We like to keep it fresh. You'll never be able to sit back and know what our vendor room is going to be. You know what I mean? Know the talent that we're going to bring, know the kind of games. Like, we try to keep it as fresh as possible. So when it comes to vendors, I mean, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. We're barely scratching the surface. Barely. And the bigger we get, the more we'll be able to bring in. But right now, we get in who we can get in, and we feel that every one of them has a point to be there. There's relevancy there. There's a reason. Like I said, I don't want my vendors leaving like I didn't make a dime. This sucks. I mean, that's just honest. We don't. As a group, we want everybody to be as happy as possible. And I think being conscious of that, it helps. It helps get you to the Mecca, to the mountaintop.
How important is it for you guys to, work with the other Comic-Cons that are going on in the area? Because you do guys work, you'll have like Grand Rapids Comic-Con and Monroe Pop Fest and Fantasticon
Motor City and Mad Monster, dude.
Capital City Comic-Con,
That's the question that anybody has asked us when it comes to, that's the question that we have been dying to answer. Nobody's ever asked us that. And it's like, we can't put it out there enough.
Right.
We are not here to do anything but be a part of the culture. And we see the cutthroat way that these people treat each other, the people that put these cons on. And it's terrifying. Like, oh my God. Like, it's going to get dirty. It's clean. We're new right now. But in another 5 years, I'm sure it'll be our throat they're coming after. But we don't want that. We should all be able to work together in a way that makes Michigan the fucking mecca of Comic Con.
Yeah.
Of pop culture cons, of horror cons. When you talk about conventions, you talk about Michigan. You don't talk about California or New York or Texas. I want it here. And the only way we can get that is everybody to cut the bullshit and start working together.
Right, because all these events are going on throughout the whole year, and it's not a competition. You guys can work together to keep things going, being like, okay, this is awesome. What's next? This is awesome. What's next?
You know why we picked February? Because we made sure we looked. We're not stepping on anybody's toes. There's perfect amount of room after us and before us to have a con that we don't have to feel like, oh man, we're hurting that con or worry about battling for guests or anything. We came in clean. So to come after us in any way is something that we don't think would be fair. But, it's a business at the end of the day. And some people are, I guess, a little more intense than others.
What can we?
But we're great friends with a lot of them.
Yeah.
Great friends with a lot of them. They help us a lot. You know what I mean? I won't say names because I don't know who they'll get in trouble from because of such. But for the most part, it's been a pleasure. It hasn't been, a nightmare, so to speak, which is what a lot of people told us it would be. It can be, absolutely, if you don't pay attention to the detail.
Right.
And you don't go above and beyond. Yeah, it can be a nightmare.
Yeah.
But if you do these things, it becomes an experience worth doing again.
But you guys are already sort of used to being a part of, like, the nightmare of being a part of a music industry and building a brand. So, like, how is that experience of being Twiztid for so long and ups and downs, starting your own thing with Magic Ninja sort of helped in building Astronomicon?
Oh, man. The amount of stuff that we've learned is immense. It's immense. Like, I tell this to George all the time. I don't care where you take us. If you could put us the head of any company, and we can run it. Give us 30 days. We'll figure it out. We'll figure out a way to make you more money and a way to smooth out. We can do anything. And it's just because we pay attention to everything. Every facet of life plays into it. Social interaction at a restaurant with people, like everything plays. And it's something that we pay attention to. And we try to make sure all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. Because if you don't, those are looked at as mistakes. And the more mistakes you make, the less support you're going to have.
Right.
The less support you have, the wider the door is for somebody else to come in and take everything that you've done. Well, now, nope. Nope. You have to pry it from our cold, dead hand.
What can we expect with Paul's Pops, your Funko Pops collection for Astronomicon?
Oh, I'm going to come out there and waggle a little ween. Nothing major. I don't want to discourage anybody. I heard some people were like, "Hey, man." So I'm going to keep it simple this year. But still, I can't, if I could bring it all, I could, you're talking a few thousand pops, man. It's ridiculous. Like, it's on my homeowner's insurance. Like, it's beyond now. It's crazy. It is really crazy. But I love for people to be able to see it. I want people to be like, "Oh my God, you got that?" That's why I collect. I love that. I don't want the thing that everybody else has. I want the one that everybody else wants.
Right.
That's how I collect. I'm a maniac with it. So there'll be all kinds of fun stuff. Jamie's bringing some of his stuff. I'm sure he's got the sketch cards, and I don't know, he might have a couple nudes of himself. Who knows with him these days? Goddamn Jamie. But it's gonna be fun, man. That's what this year's really focused on. Fun. Keep it going. Everybody relax, take a deep breath, and have fun.
Aside from everything going on with Astronomicon, what's going on with Twiztid these days?
Oh, man. It hasn't stopped. Like, we came up the Motionless in White tour, and we just started attacking Spotify like nobody's business. Every 3 weeks, another song, and it's still going on now. And now we just decided that we're going to start on a new CD for this year, a new record, a new streaming hour, whatever the kids are going to call it by the time it comes out. But you know what I mean? It's that we're hoping that after the con, we have a great big announcement. There's the record label itself, I believe, is doing like four records this year.
Okay.
A Blaze record, a Young Wicked record, I think 2 Young Wicked records, a Twiztid record, and an A&B record. And I believe we're signing 2 more people this year as well. It doesn't stop. It's crazy. It's getting to the point where it's like, man, how the hell are we're going to have to figure out how to phase neutrons and atoms or something to running a record label. And now Astronomicon is its own beast. Like, once it's over, the planning, we've already started planning the next one already. Like, it is now a year plan. Now, it takes that long now. Like, holy shit. The first one, it was 6 months. Second one, 9 months, and we didn't have enough time.
Right.
This year, it's probably going to be a year and a half, a year and 3 months in the making for the next one. Like, man, it is crazy. But it's working. And we're grateful, man. We're very, very, very grateful to be given a chance.
What I love about Astronomicon, and then also what you guys have been doing with Magic Ninja Entertainment, is that I feel like both entities are very accessible for what they are in comparison to maybe your previous things, your previous places that you were at. Like, how important is it to be be a place where, those outcasts or those forgotten ones, be a voice of those people, but also just be sort of accessible to everybody?
That is the almost impossible. You know what I mean? And it's not just them. It's everybody. It's moms. It's our dads. It's our kids. It's like, we can't be there enough for everybody. We try to be. We try to be as much as we can. And we'll never, ever not be the voice.
Yeah.
We'll always be the voice. We just changed addresses. That's all. Voice is still there. We still speak for those. It's a new day, man. It's a new age. It seems like the more into the light that we come as Twiztid, the more we see that people have got the biggest misconception of what we are and what we're doing. And the more they see it, the more they're like, well, we didn't think that, we thought it was like this. And we're just trying to prove the misconceptions wrong, because if you're going to not like us, you're going to not like us for something we really did or something that we really stand for, not for opinion, not for what you heard from this person or that person. That's what we want.
Right.
Honesty. And I think the way that we're building Astronomicon as its own entity, it's not reliant on Jamie and I. It's not. We believe that we don't have to be at the con like this. We could come there for one day like Alexa Bliss, and it's still going to be how it is. That right there is tough, to be able to keep them separate so one isn't held against the other. Very tough, but we've done it, and we're continuing to do it. It's not a Twiztid event. It's not. It's just an event that Twiztid came up with.
Yeah.
There's a huge difference in that statement. But I don't want people to think that they come there and it's the pandemonium that is our concerts. It's not. It's not. It's two separate things. You come to a Twiztid show, and that's where the chaos ensues. You come here, this is where you get away from it all.
Mm-hmm.
We gave you another way to escape. If that's not your thing, the mosh pits and the loud music then we gave you another way to escape. That's all it is.
Right. Well, Paul, it's been great talking with you. Like I said, I'm super excited for Astronomicon to get here, and it's my favorite time of the year.
That's awesome, Kelly. So dope, bro. Thank you.
Yes. Where can people go online to get more information about Astronomicon, which will be going on? You can. It's going on February 7th through the 9th at the Wyndham Garden in Sterling Heights, Michigan. That's on 34911 Van Dyke Road. So where can they go to get more information about Astronomicon? And if there's anything else you want to plug, go ahead and plug it.
Astronomicon.com. There's an Astronomicon Facebook, Instagram. It has all of it. So whatever social media you're comfortable with, go to that with the Astronomicon, and you'll be fine. You'll figure it all out. I would like to plug the hole in my brother Matt's basement because it keeps flooding, and if I could help him with that, that would be awesome. And yeah, hopefully Jamie does come with some nudes. I don't know. We'll leave it at that.
Hey, yo, thank you for listening to this episode of Fresh is the Word, hosted and produced by myself, Kelly K. Fresh Frazier, empowered by Anchor at anchor.fm/Fresh is the Word. Intro theme music by Foulmouth, Shimmy Bango, and Knox Money. Fresh is the Word is available on all major streaming platforms. Please rate and review on Apple Podcasts and Stitcher. If you want to support Fresh is the Word, please consider pledging via Patreon at patreon.com/Fresh is the Word. Follow Fresh is the Word on social media on Twitter at Fresh is the Pod, on Instagram at Fresh is the Word Podcast, and join the Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/Fresh is the Word. For more information about Fresh is the Word and our other podcasts, Breaking Records and Renaissance Soul, and a collection of pop culture articles and reviews, please visit freshesthepodcast.com. Thank you for listening and your support. Goodbye and good night.
Fresh is the word.